Welcome to Haworth, a historic village in West Yorkshire. To understand its soul, we must first look to its roots, nestled deep in the rugged slopes of the Pennines. The name Haworth is derived from Old English, haga, meaning enclosure, and worth, meaning farm. It was literally a hedged enclosure in a wild landscape. First mentioned in 1209, Haworth was for centuries a remote farming community. Its people were shaped by the isolation of the high West Yorkshire moors. By the 17th century, the village began to transition. Stone cottages were built with wide, mullioned windows, designed to catch every drop of light for handloom weavers. In 1748, the arrival of William Grimshaw changed the village's character. Known for his fiery sermons, he reportedly used a whip to drive locals from pubs into the church. When the Industrial Revolution arrived, Haworth was transformed. By the early 1800s, it was no longer a quiet hamlet, but a bustling, gritty industrial town. Textile mills like Bridgehouse mills sprang up in the valleys. They spun worsted wool, the staple of the West Riding, powered first by water and then by steam. The human cost was high. At Bridgehouse Mills in 1833, half of the 60 workers were children under the age of 16, working long, grueling hours. It was during this era of growth that Haworth's iconic, steep cobbled main street and its distinctive stone-fronted buildings were constructed. Despite its growth, Haworth remained isolated. Lacking a canal or early railway, goods moved via steep turnpike roads that charged tolls well into the 1860s. But industrial growth brought a harrowing crisis. By 1850, Haworth was as unhealthy as the most congested slums of London. Disease was everywhere. The statistics were shocking. The average life expectancy was just 25 years. Over 40% of children died before the age of 6. Distressed by the funerals he performed, Patrick Brontë petitioned for help. This led to the 1850 Babbage Report, a damning portrait of the village's sanitary failures. Babbage found no sewers. Human waste sat in open heaps for months. There were only 69 privies for the entire village, one for every 4 houses. The water was the greatest danger. One of the main pumps was just 2 yards from a cesspit, and decomposing organic matter seeped from the graveyard into the wells. Against this grim backdrop, the Brontë family lived and wrote. From the parsonage, Charlotte, Emily, and Anne looked out over that very churchyard. It was here they penned masterpieces like Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights, their stories often echoing the industrial unrest and harsh weather of their home. The village's health crisis struck the parsonage itself. All 6 Brontë children died young, a tragic reflection of the conditions in Haworth at the time. Reverend Patrick Brontë outlived all his children. His persistence in petitioning for the Babbage Report finally paved the way for modern sanitation. Change finally came in 1867 with the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. It wasn't just for industry, it brought the first literary pilgrims to the village. By the late 1800s, Haworth was a global landmark. The Brontë Society was founded in 1893 to preserve the sisters' home and their legacy for the world. In 1928, the parsonage was converted into a museum. Today, it remains a sanctuary of literary history, frozen in time at the top of Main Street. Today, Haworth is a beautiful time capsule. You can grab a pint at the Black Bull, where Branwell Brontë once spent his evenings. Or you can hike out to the Brontë waterfall on the rugged moors, a place that inspired the wild settings of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Image 59WAR8UR. With its mix of industrial history and literary romance, Haworth remains one of Yorkshire's most captivating destinations. Thank you for joining our journey. Please share your experience and subscribe for the next installment in our historic or medieval town series, coming soon.